Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. The Washington Commanders are finally catching a break as they approach the start of the 2025 NFL season, with multiple key players returning to practice and the offense showing signs of life. The spotlight, however, has been on Noah Brown, whose absence since minicamp has left fans and analysts wondering how the veteran receiver will fit into the team's plans this year. Brown, who was expected to miss time initially due to a minor injury, showed promise in the first days of training camp, executing drills with precision and displaying the kind of sharp movement that inspires confidence in coaches and teammates alike. But after being pulled from practice for a short period, updates were scarce, fueling speculation. Head coach Dan Quinn finally shed light on Brown's progress, revealing that the wideout has transitioned from basic rehab into a phase focused on strength, acceleration, and deceleration, indicating he is on track for a return that could bolster the offense just in time for the season opener, and fans are buzzing with optimism about his impact on the field. Brown's significance to the Commanders extends far beyond a single highlight reel moment. Last season, he played a pivotal role in the passing attack, finishing fourth in receiving yards and receptions despite missing 6 games due to injury. He has repeatedly proven to be a reliable target in critical situations, demonstrating a knack for stepping up on third downs and clutch plays that might not make the headlines, but are essential for team success. His chemistry with quarterbacks has been notable, initially serving as a safety blanket for C.J. Stroud and now building a strong rapport with Jayden Daniels, who enters the 2025 season eager to build on his offensive Rookie of the Year campaign. Brown's presence offers stability to a receiving core that relies heavily on younger, less proven players, providing a veteran anchor capable of elevating the team's offensive efficiency while mentoring emerging talent. As the Commanders look to navigate a challenging NFC East schedule, Brown's return could be the difference between a shaky start and a confident launch into the season. Jayden Daniels, coming off a stellar rookie season, has been laser-focused on improving his mechanics and addressing tendencies that opponents could exploit in year 2. His offseason has been devoted to fine-tuning footwork, adjusting to different drops, and learning to throw effectively on the move within Cliff Kingsbury's system. Daniels credits veteran linebacker Bobby Wagner with providing guidance on reading defenses and anticipating pressures, highlighting a maturity that goes beyond raw talent. This focus on incremental improvement is critical as he prepares to lead a Commanders offense that has struggled with consistency in the past. Having a reliable target like Noah Brown not only complements Daniels' skill set, but also offers him a trusted option in high-pressure situations, potentially transforming close games into opportunities for confidence-building victories early in the season. The synergy between Brown and Daniels could become the cornerstone of Washington's offensive identity moving forward. The timing of Brown's return is particularly crucial as the Commanders have yet to field all 3 of their top receivers together in a single practice. Terry McLaurin, who has also been recovering from injury, is trending back toward full participation, which could allow for the first look at the complete receiving trio. This practice integration is essential for building rhythm and timing, giving Daniels multiple reliable targets and improving the team's ability to execute in fast-paced, high-pressure situations. Youthful receivers on the roster must step up to fill gaps, but having Brown as a stabilizing veteran presence mitigates risks associated with inexperience. The offensive line and running game, led by key players such as Saquon Barkley, also benefit from a balanced passing attack that keeps defenses honest, making Brown's presence a linchpin in the overall strategy. With proper chemistry established in practice, Washington could open the season with momentum and confidence that resonates throughout the team. Beyond individual contributions, Brown's role in the locker room cannot be overstated. His experience navigating the highs and lows of NFL competition provides an invaluable reference point for younger players who are still learning to handle the speed, intensity, and mental demands of the league. Veterans like Brown often serve as mentors, teaching situational awareness, route adjustments, and game preparation strategies that only come from experience. This leadership dimension strengthens the Commanders' culture, especially in an offense that relies heavily on timing and precision between quarterback and receivers. with Daniels entering his sophomore season and poised to expand his understanding of the system. Having Brown on the field and in the locker room ensures that both on-field execution and off-field development are aligned toward maximizing the team's potential, creating an environment where emerging talent can thrive alongside proven performers. The NFC East presents a challenging landscape, with formidable defenses and high-powered offenses across the division. Washington's need for consistent offensive production has been evident, particularly in games where young receivers struggled to find space against aggressive coverage schemes. Brown's ability to create separation, track deep balls, and execute precise routes allows the Commanders to exploit defensive weaknesses more effectively. His return could also relieve some pressure on the offensive line and running backs by stretching the field vertically, creating opportunities for short passes and running plays to gain traction. In a division where every game carries playoff implications, the incremental advantage of having Brown back on the field may be the difference between contending and falling behind early, highlighting how a single player's readiness can have cascading effects on overall team performance and strategic flexibility during the season's critical first month. From a fantasy football perspective, Brown's return changes projections for the Commanders' receiving core. While Saquon Barkley remains a high-profile option, concerns over injuries and offensive line protection have tempered his appeal in early drafts. Conversely, Brown offers reliability and proven production in key situations, making him an attractive choice for managers seeking stability over volatility. His ability to convert third downs and make contested catches provides tangible scoring potential, especially in formats that reward receptions and yardage consistency. Fantasy analysts are beginning to highlight his value not merely as a complementary piece, but as a core contributor who can influence matchups week to week. This dual impact, both real-world and fantasy relevance, reinforces how critical his timely recovery is for fans invested in tracking Washington's offense closely. Elsewhere in the NFC, other teams are facing their own challenges, which indirectly impacts the Commanders' strategic considerations. The Cowboys, for instance, are dealing with OT Tyler Guyton's rehab from a knee injury and evaluating preseason quarterbacks like Joe Milton, while the Eagles continue to grapple with draft regrets and roster adjustments, including reflections on missing out on Justin Jefferson. These scenarios illustrate how critical personnel health and preparation are for competitive balance across the division. For Washington, keeping Brown, McLaurin, and Daniels in sync offers a rare window to capitalize on opponents' vulnerabilities. The ability to field a fully healthy, cohesive offensive unit could translate into early season wins that set the tone for playoff contention, reinforcing the idea that timing and recovery are just as pivotal as talent in shaping outcomes in a tightly contested division. Commanders head coach Dan Quinn's comments on Brown reflect a careful but optimistic approach, emphasizing measurable progress in rehab and conditioning. By highlighting the transition from strength-focused recovery to return-to-play movements like acceleration and deceleration, Quinn indicates that Brown is not just physically ready, but also mentally prepared to re-engage with team dynamics. This nuanced evaluation underscores the complexity of NFL player management, where timing, physical readiness, and mental confidence must align. For fans and analysts, Quinn's statements serve as reassurance that the organization is closely monitoring progress, minimizing risk, and positioning key players for a strong season launch. Such transparency also fosters trust between the coaching staff, players, and fan base, reinforcing the narrative that Washington is entering 2025 with renewed focus, health, and strategic clarity. As the season approaches, the intersection of veteran experience and young talent in Washington's wide receiver room will define the offense's identity. Noah Brown's return is emblematic of this balance, offering a tangible upgrade in reliability and situational awareness while complementing McLaurin and supporting Daniels' continued development. The Commanders' ability to integrate these pieces effectively during the final weeks of training camp will set the stage for the opening games, where execution under pressure becomes paramount. With the NFC East providing stiff competition, Washington's offensive cohesion, health, and strategic adjustments could make the difference between a promising season and a disappointing one. The excitement surrounding Brown's progression underscores a broader narrative. The Commanders are positioning themselves to maximize talent, leverage experience, and seize control of a division that rewards preparation, timing, and adaptability in equal measure. In conclusion, the narrative around Noah Brown's return goes beyond physical recovery. It encapsulates the Commanders' broader strategic and developmental goals as they enter the 2025 season. His progress, highlighted by Quinn's positive updates, provides a boost not just for fantasy projections, but for real-world offensive execution and team morale. Combined with Jaden Daniels' meticulous offseason work, Terry McLaurin's return, and the emergence of young receivers, the Commanders are sculpting an offense that blends experience, talent, and adaptability. As fans and analysts watch training camp unfold, the anticipation for seeing a fully healthy, synchronized offense grows, with Brown's readiness serving as a key indicator of potential success. The alignment of player health, coaching strategy, and youthful energy positions Washington to start the season with confidence, determination, and the possibility of making a statement early in the NFC East. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. The NFL rumor mill is buzzing like never before, and insiders claim the Washington Commanders have executed a secretive, high-stakes move to bring defensive powerhouse Chase Young back into the fold. Sources close to the organization hint that the discussions began weeks ago behind closed doors, with front office executives reportedly pulling every string to engineer a deal that could shock the league. While the exact details of the transaction remain under wraps, speculation is rife that multiple teams were eyeing Young, intensifying the pressure on Washington to act decisively. The chatter suggests that Young's return is not merely a player acquisition, but a strategic gambit meant to signal the team's renewed commitment to defensive dominance, sending a message to both fans and rivals alike. Analysts are already dissecting potential trade scenarios, contract structures, and cap implications, but nothing has been officially confirmed. The secrecy surrounding the negotiations adds an almost cinematic tension to what is shaping up to be one of the season's most intriguing stories. Sources describe an atmosphere of quiet urgency, with key personnel reportedly working around the clock to ensure every detail is meticulously planned, and contingency plans drafted should negotiations hit a snag. The buzz has created a frenzy among the fan base, with social media communities exploding with speculation, debates, and wild predictions about the implications of Young's rumored return. Some insiders hint at clandestine meetings in hotel suites, while others suggest back-channel communications between agents and executives that could redefine the power dynamics in Washington's locker room. Amid all this, the league itself has remained tight-lipped, fueling even more curiosity as everyone waits for an official announcement that could rewrite the narrative for the Commanders' defensive identity in the coming season. Whispers indicate that Chase Young's potential homecoming is about more than just on-field performance. It's a calculated move meant to rekindle a cultural and psychological edge that the Commanders have desperately sought. Sources describe a meticulous vetting process, with executives evaluating Young's recent form, injury history, and locker room presence, balancing these factors against the high stakes of salary cap maneuvering. The murmurs suggest that the team has been considering not only short-term impacts but long-term strategic implications, including mentorship roles, media presence, and fan engagement, aiming to leverage Young's charisma and elite skill set to energize a franchise craving identity and momentum. Speculation around draft picks, potential player exchanges, and conditional clauses has sent insiders into a whirlwind of analysis, with each rumored term adding layers of intrigue and suspense to a story already rich with drama. Even former teammates and coaches have reportedly been looped into informal discussions, providing insights that could influence final negotiations, making the entire operation resemble a complex chess game played at lightning speed. Fans have latched onto these rumors with fervor, dissecting every possible angle, from defensive schematics to cap projections, imagining the seismic shifts that could occur if Young's return materializes. Social media platforms are saturated with theories about how this move might affect the team's playoff odds, rivalries, and overall reputation, creating an online ecosystem buzzing with anticipation. Meanwhile, sports journalists are racing to verify leaks, cross-check sources, and uncover hidden truths, navigating a delicate balance between reporting and respecting confidential negotiations. The rumor, regardless of its ultimate reality, has already become a cultural event within football circles, sparking debates in bars, offices, and online forums across the country, solidifying Chase Young as the epicenter of the Commanders' potential renaissance. The energy surrounding this story continues to escalate, with each passing day adding new layers of speculation, rumor, and anticipation as fans and pundits alike await a revelation that could redefine the franchise's trajectory in ways few could have imagined. Insiders suggest that one of the most compelling elements of this secretive maneuver is the psychological impact it could have on both the locker room and the broader NFL ecosystem. Bringing Chase Young back, according to murmurs, would not only strengthen the team's defensive line, but could also serve as a morale booster, signaling to players that management is willing to take bold, decisive action to improve competitiveness. Conversations behind closed doors reportedly revolved around how Young's presence could inspire younger athletes, alter the intensity of training sessions, and elevate the overall culture of accountability within the team. Observers claim that executives have been studying behavioral patterns, past interactions, and leadership tendencies, evaluating how Young might influence team cohesion and performance under high-pressure situations. The narrative emerging from insiders paints a picture of a franchise on the brink of transformation, with Young positioned as both a symbol and a tactical weapon in a broader strategy aimed at reclaiming prominence in the league. Rumors also indicate that rival teams are closely monitoring the situation, strategizing preemptive responses should Young indeed rejoin the Commanders, adding a layer of league-wide intrigue. Analysts have speculated about the financial gymnastics necessary to accommodate the deal, including restructuring existing contracts and reallocating cap space, which could have ripple effects on other potential acquisitions. Social media chatter is intensely focused on what Young's return might mean for season projections, defensive rankings, and potential playoff scenarios, creating a perfect storm of anticipation. In the locker room, whispers suggest that teammates are already buzzing with excitement, imagining the possibilities for chemistry, on-field synergy, and leadership dynamics. Even media outlets are struggling to piece together the puzzle, relying on tipsters, anonymous sources, and insider knowledge to craft coherent narratives, highlighting the almost cinematic tension surrounding this rumored transaction. The Commanders' front office, according to sources, has been operating in extreme secrecy, employing a variety of strategic methods to prevent information leaks, while simultaneously laying the groundwork for a deal that insiders say could be one of the most consequential of the season. Industry whispers suggest clandestine meetings in undisclosed locations, late-night strategy sessions, and encrypted communication channels being used to coordinate efforts across multiple stakeholders, including agents, coaches, and financial advisors. The intensity of these behind-the-scenes maneuvers is reportedly rivaling that of actual game day preparations, highlighting the high stakes involved in securing Chase Young's services. Analysts have noted that such secrecy not only increases the suspense for fans, but also puts psychological pressure on potential competing teams, creating a subtle negotiation advantage. Rumors indicate that conditional clauses, performance incentives, and perhaps even creative trade arrangements are being explored to make the deal palatable to all parties. Fans are monitoring every social media hint, cryptic press conference comment, and minor roster movement for evidence, supporting the speculation, turning the rumor into a full-fledged cultural phenomenon. Even former Commanders executives have chimed in on podcasts and interviews, weighing in on the potential ramifications and adding credibility to the swirling conjecture. The narrative emerging from these rumors portrays a franchise willing to take risks, challenge conventions, and embrace bold strategies to reclaim relevance and excitement. The tension is palpable, with every day increasing anticipation and fueling discussions across forums, fan groups, and sports talk shows, creating a media environment almost as dynamic as the potential trade itself. In sum, the rumors surrounding Chase Young's possible return have created a web of intrigue, speculation, and excitement that seems poised to dominate the NFL conversation for weeks, if not months, to come. Word has it that the negotiations surrounding Chase Young's rumored return are filled with intricate details, subtle power plays, and high-level strategic thinking that few outside the inner circle fully understand. Sources hint that both sides are weighing a variety of scenarios, including partial trades, deferred payments, and roster restructuring, designed to maximize flexibility while maintaining competitiveness. The complexity of the deal has turned it into a chess match, with each party trying to anticipate the other's moves and respond in real time. Industry insiders report that even seemingly minor decisions, such as who sits in key front office meetings or which intermediaries facilitate communication, could significantly influence the outcome. Rumors suggest that legal advisors are deeply involved, crafting clauses and safeguards to protect both the team and the player from unforeseen contingencies. At the same time, scouts and coaches are reportedly revisiting game tapes, analyzing Young's performance trends, and projecting how his return could alter defensive schemes, signal calls, and in-game adaptability. The fanbase has become hyper-focused, dissecting every report, leak, and hint, with forums and social media platforms hosting exhaustive discussions that blend statistical analysis, speculation, and outright fantasy. Even rival teams are said to be monitoring these developments closely, anticipating potential ripple effects on divisional competitiveness, playoff seeding, and draft positioning. This level of secrecy, complexity, and speculation has made the story of Chase Young's possible return feel less like a simple roster move and more like an unfolding drama with league-wide implications, capturing the imagination of fans, analysts, and commentators alike. Early whispers from league insiders suggest that the potential re-signing of Chase Young could mark a pivotal moment not only for the Commanders but for the NFL as a whole, raising questions about how elite defensive talent is valued, managed, and leveraged in high-stakes negotiations. Sources hint that the deal, if it materializes, may involve innovative financial structures, performance incentives, and creative roster solutions designed to maximize impact while minimizing risk. Industry observers suggest that the ripple effects of such a maneuver could extend far beyond Washington, influencing contract expectations, trade market dynamics, and player-team relationships league-wide. Rumors indicate that analysts and sports economists are already modeling various outcomes, trying to anticipate how Young's return could shift playoff probabilities, defensive rankings, and team morale, with some projecting that the Commanders could see a dramatic uptick in competitiveness. Social media has exploded with speculation, memes, and deep dives into potential tactical implications, creating a public discourse that rivals the intensity of any game day showdown. Coaches, commentators, and former players are reportedly weighing in behind the scenes, providing insights into how Young's presence could alter defensive formations, blitz patterns, and personnel rotations, further fueling the narrative of a transformative acquisition. Meanwhile, fan communities are dissecting every rumor, crafting hypothetical scenarios, debating likely outcomes, and generally amplifying the buzz surrounding this clandestine negotiation. Reports hint at subtle psychological tactics being employed by both the players' camp and the Commanders' management, aimed at maintaining leverage while signaling intent, adding another layer of intrigue to an already complex situation. The story, even in its rumor stage, is shaping up to be one of the most compelling NFL sagas in recent memory, captivating attention from casual fans, diehards, and analysts alike. Chatter within league circles suggests that Chase Young's rumored return to Washington is not simply about athletic talent, but a strategic narrative move designed to recast the Commanders as a franchise willing to take bold steps to regain prominence. Insiders indicate that executives have been carefully calibrating messaging, ensuring that every public comment, press release, and subtle social media hint aligns with a broader plan to build excitement and anticipation. According to sources, this calculated approach is intended to energize the fanbase, create favorable media coverage, and subtly intimidate rivals by signaling the team's readiness to make high-stakes investments in elite talent. Behind the scenes, negotiations are reportedly dynamic, with multiple contingencies under discussion to accommodate evolving circumstances, such as cap flexibility, roster adjustments, and potential injury protections. Analysts speculate that this meticulous planning reflects a sophisticated understanding of both market dynamics and psychological influence, where perception can be as powerful as actual performance. Reports suggest that even minor elements, such as timing of public announcements and media appearances, are being coordinated to maximize narrative impact, further enhancing the drama surrounding Young's potential return. Fans and insiders alike have been drawn into an intricate web of speculation, with discussion threads and podcasts devoted to analyzing every hint, leak, and rumor, often uncovering subtleties that reveal the depth of the planning. The intrigue surrounding this story has escalated to the point where it has become a cultural phenomenon, merging sports, business strategy, and media manipulation into a single, high-stakes drama. Even without official confirmation, the rumor has already reshaped expectations, projecting the Commanders as a team not content to linger in mediocrity, but eager to stake a claim among the league's elite. Sources suggest that the behind-the-scenes orchestration of Chase Young's potential return has involved not only executives, but a constellation of advisors, former teammates, and strategic consultants, each contributing insights and influence aimed at ensuring the deal's success. Whispers indicate that contingency planning has been a key focus, with multiple scenarios evaluated in anticipation of any unforeseen complications, from injury concerns to competing offers from rival teams. Analysts suggest that this high level of preparation reflects both the perceived value of Young as an athletic asset and the symbolic weight of his return, which could redefine leadership dynamics, team culture, and public perception of the Commanders franchise. The rumor mill also points to careful alignment with coaching staff, who are reportedly involved in assessing how Young's skill set could integrate with existing defensive schemes and elevate overall performance metrics. Social media chatter, fueled by these leaks, has created a feedback loop in which speculation drives fan engagement, which in turn amplifies pressure on the team and player camps, creating an almost theatrical build-up. Media outlets have been compelled to follow the story with heightened attention, analyzing subtle hints, double-checking sources, and framing narratives in ways that emphasize suspense, drama, and strategic cunning. In combination, these dynamics suggest that the story is evolving into more than just a transaction. It's becoming a defining moment for the franchise, with league-wide implications and lasting influence on how elite talent acquisitions are perceived. Fans, analysts, and commentators are all watching closely, aware that any official confirmation could trigger immediate shifts in public sentiment, betting markets, and competitive strategies across the NFL. The tension, secrecy, and stakes involved have elevated the rumored return into a phenomenon that feels almost cinematic, blending sports drama with elements of negotiation thriller, keeping everyone on edge as anticipation builds. The rumor surrounding Chase Young's potential return is reportedly creating an unprecedented media frenzy, with journalists, bloggers, and commentators dissecting every available clue to craft plausible narratives about timing, logistics, and strategic intent. Sources suggest that the Commanders are deliberately controlling the flow of information, releasing selective hints to generate hype while maintaining a shroud of secrecy around core negotiation details. Analysts speculate that this method of controlled suspense is intended to maximize fan engagement, encourage speculation, and subtly pressure competing teams who may be monitoring the situation. According to insiders, this orchestration involves careful planning of announcements, interviews, and social media activity, all synchronized to heighten drama and maintain intrigue. Rumors indicate that behind closed doors, multiple contingencies have been mapped out, from player readiness to financial structuring, each designed to prevent surprises from derailing the deal. Observers note that the psychological component of these negotiations is as significant as any athletic consideration, with strategic signaling influencing both market perception and locker room dynamics. Fan communities have become virtual think tanks, analyzing every report, leak, or hint with statistical precision, video breakdowns, and hypothetical projections, transforming rumor into collaborative storytelling. Former players, media personalities, and industry insiders have all contributed to the narrative, providing analysis, historical comparisons, and anecdotal insights that further enrich the speculation. The story has taken on a life of its own, illustrating how rumor, anticipation, and strategic secrecy can combine to produce an epic saga that captivates audiences, amplifies engagement, and reshapes perceptions before any official action occurs. The level of orchestration, coordination, and psychological maneuvering suggests that the rumored return is far more than a transaction. It's an event, a spectacle, and a narrative masterstroke poised to dominate football discourse. Industry chatter hints that if Chase Young does return to the Commanders, the ramifications could extend well beyond immediate on-field performance, affecting draft strategies, free agency decisions, and even sponsorship negotiations. Rumors suggest that executives are considering long-term impacts, such as building around Young's presence to attract emerging talent, restructure the defensive lineup, and enhance brand appeal through marketable narratives. Analysts speculate that the deal could trigger a domino effect, influencing not only Washington's internal strategy, but also the approach of rival teams who must adjust to the sudden bolstering of a key competitor. Sources indicate that marketing, community relations, and media teams are likely involved in parallel planning, aiming to leverage Young's potential return as a catalyst for engagement, ticket sales, and fan loyalty. The psychological effect on the team cannot be underestimated, with insiders hinting that Young's presence could instill confidence, heighten competitiveness, and shift leadership hierarchies within the locker room. Social media has been abuzz with projections, memes, and heated debates over how the rumored acquisition might affect defensive rankings, playoff scenarios, and team identity. Coaches, scouts, and analysts are said to be recalculating game strategies and personnel rotations, anticipating how Young's skills could influence both immediate matchups and long-term tactical planning. Even casual observers are caught in the web of speculation, captivated by the narrative of a blockbuster move unfolding in real time. The convergence of strategic, psychological, and media considerations paints a picture of a rumor that is more than transactional. It is transformative, potentially reshaping the Commanders' trajectory and the broader NFL narrative in significant ways. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.